Hi everyone, I'll jump right in. Today is the anniversary of my grandmother's passing, and she was a huge deal in my family. Now that she's gone, we've all realized that she was very much the glue that kept us together, and COVID took her away from us. Ever since then, my aunt, who we'll call Jane, has been, and I mean this, completely devastated as a result. I don't blame her, that's not the point of the post. That said, it does sort of tie in. Grandma raised me, so I refer to her as Mom, and will do so for the rest of the post. After Mom passed, Jane has gone off the deep end. There's a large portrait from the funeral service that stays in the living room of their house, and for some time after Mom died, I'd come out of my room to go pee at 1/2/3 a.m., and I'd see the silhouette of someone kneeling in front of the photo, and through the whirring of household gadgets, I could hear mumbling, likely prayers. I'd never say anything, but I'd see it often. I've moved back out since, as I was only there to help my family through losing our mom. My pop, who is now widowed, is under her care, 24/7. She supervises his phone, who he talks to, and looks after him in general, as his health isn't the best, and constantly reminds him that he's not allowed to move on romantically for some reason. Over the last couple of years, she pays the church they go to have a mass in her name, and scolds us for not wanting to attend or donate for them to say her name once or twice during Mass, and has basically turned grieving into a contest. If I tell her I had Mom on my mind a lot that day, she says she thought of her *more*, and she got *more* emotional than I did, or whoever made the mistake of brushing the topic with her. We have a family business that Dad started that is very much thriving still, thankfully. She opened it with him in the late 90s, and had been here basically the entire time until Mom's health declined with COVID in August of 2021. She's completely stepped down from her post to take care of Dad, but kept her full pay for herself the entire time up to now, and continues to randomly send extremely sad and depressing things or make super sad comments in passing. If there is a family gathering for someone's birthday, we can expect her to cry at some point and talk about how Mom should be here, and damn COVID, and all the other conspiracy garbage you can think of in regards. Today, she sent a message in the family chat with a YouTube link titled, "Rest in Peace." And I immediately told her that today of all days, I don't want to hear it. We're all sick of being guilted for not feeling as bad as she claims to, because we all grieve differently and handle it accordingly. On top of not being religious, I think the whole church service is dumb and unnecessary, but to each their own if it helps. It was over text, so tone may have been a problem, and now I'm excommunicated and being called a POS. Am I the idiot for telling her to just stop it? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. I was all ready to say, you're the idiot because people grieve in different ways, but you're not the idiot for standing up to your aunt's unnecessary and hurtful demands. The portrait praying thing, that's her way of dealing with it. Let her have that. If she wants to pay the church from her own pocket for Mass, again, her choice. If you don't want to go, your choice, and totally acceptable. She doesn't get to demand or guilt you. I could understand her being upset about the idea of your dad moving on romantically one day, and I'd cut her some slack for an emotional reaction to that thought. But she would need to make peace with it if it were ever to happen, and stop trying to guilt your dad from even considering it. The family business? If she isn't working and is taking a wage, that's a no-no asterisk. If she is getting dividends, a share of profits from her share of owning a business, then sure, she's entitled to that. Asterisk. Unless all the business owners and interested parties have agreed to pay her wage in return for her caring for your dad, a family member, full-time, then she shouldn't be demanding anything. I get it's totally annoying her going on about it, so yes, telling her she's pushing the limits of what you can tolerate is totally justified. Maybe have a convo to agree that you can compromise by supporting her to express her grief, but she has to compromise to the extent. You're grieving in your own way also. She needs to respect that too. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Your aunt really needs to get in touch with a grief counselor. They'll help her see that how she's been coping isn't healthy. She's shoehorning her grief into everything and making it the grief Olympics. It's one thing to be sad and get together and talk about Mom, and yes, you're all in it together. But she's placing too much of the weight onto everyone else instead of being mutually supportive. I have found that the best way to deal with loved ones passing is to talk about how awesome they were, how much you'll miss, insert whichever hilarious quirk, and talk about some of the favorite things you do together, and how much they cracked you up. We have tons of those stories, and we do their voices and mannerisms and everything. Lol. I'm sorry you're all going through this, OP. Hopefully your aunt will contact that grief counselor or join a support group. Those are pretty helpful. I've joined a few support groups online over the years, and it did a world of good just to feel like there are others out there who understand exactly what I was going through. In your aunt's case, it will help her to not shift too much of her emotional weight onto you guys, and it will teach her how to share it with you guys instead of unloading everything onto the rest of you who already have a lot to carry. Comment 3. You're the idiot for how you said it, not for saying it. Her over-the-top excessive grief is interfering with her life, your grandfather's life, and the lives of those around her. But you could have raised the subject on a less emotionally charged day and done so personally, not over text. You could have said that everyone grieves in their own way, but that you fear her mourning is preventing her from living the life your grandmother wanted for her. You could have let her know that you feel she is dismissing your own emotions when she compares yours to hers instead of acknowledging that you're all hurting. Stuff like that. A harsh text on the anniversary of the date wasn't the move of a non-AH. You've undermined your position, but you need to review the structure of the business and see if the family can stop her from taking money at will. If she's harming your grandfather and he wants relief from her control, something may have to be done about getting him a different caregiver. But while she is the caregiver and one is needed, some compensation for her might be in order. I understand your frustration. I just think it could have been handled with more tact and in a way calculated not to get the rest of the family on her side. Now, for the next story. I, 19-year-old female, regularly babysit for a single dad. The pay is good and the kids are great. However, the most recent time he was supposed to be back at 10 p.m. At 10:15, he texts me, asking if I could be flexible with how late he got home. I was thinking he would be home in 5-10 minutes. I responded I wasn't, as I had an early morning the next day, and I would have to commute home. Additionally, I had been planning on catching the tail end of a party for a friend I hadn't seen in a while. He doesn't get back until 10:45. I had to rush out because my Uber had already been waiting for 5 minutes and just curtly said, "If you're going to be later, please let me know." I had to cancel plans I had after this. I texted after trying to soften the blow, but I feel as though whether I had plans or not, and no, I'm not just upset I couldn't go get drunk. I'm sober. My time should be respected. But I feel crazy and bad because I know he doesn't get out much and need to know, am I the idiot? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Welcome to /r/am I the asshole. Please view our voting guide here. And remember to use only one judgment in your comment. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. Am I the idiot for being rude after the family I babysit for wasn't home on time? Help keep the sub engaging. #Don to downvote assholes. Do upvote interesting posts. Click here for our rules and click here for our FAQ #subreddit. Announcements. Happy anniversary, IITA. The idiot universe is expanding. Again, introducing another new sister, subreddit. Follow the link above to learn more. Moderators needed. Join the landed gentry. Asterisk. I am a bot, and this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit if you have any questions or concerns. Asterisk. Contest mode is 1.5 hours long on this post. Comment 2. Not the idiot. As a nanny, the dad was out of line and he knows it. There's a reason he didn't say anything, and it's because he already knew he was in the wrong and didn't want to own up to it. In the future, don't try to soften the blow. When you're in a caregiving field, people know that you are empathetic and care deeply for others, and will use that to their advantage. You are never responsible for managing the emotions of someone who has wronged you. He might feel guilty? Good. He should feel guilty for putting you in that position. Let him manage that on his own. Edit. You should also be charging a late fee. I do a max of 10 minutes grace period, and then it's $1, $2 per minute over. Obviously, babysitting and nannying are very different, but either way, your time matters, and you're in that home in a professional capacity, not personal. Comment 3. Not the idiot at all. He needs to communicate that he won't be home till later. I dealt with this with my mom's friend. She'd gone out for drinks and said she'd be home around 11. They didn't show up till 6 p.m. the next night. I was pissed. I had no idea where they were and they didn't give me any contact information. And when they finally came to get their kids, they paid me $20. They'd gotten so drunk that they went home and slept. My mom was with them as well. I wasn't happy, and I didn't want to babysit again, considering they expected it for free after that. Now, for the next story. This is my first time on Reddit, so you can judge me, and if I am really an idiot, you can just tell me what to do. Okay, so just a few days ago, I went back to my house from Manila for a few days since we only had online classes for the rest of the week. When I went inside the house, I felt a bit refreshed since I was really stressed for my schoolwork and the activities, and everything went well for the rest of the afternoon. During dinner, I was talking to my mom, and she mentioned that my two cousins, around 4, 5 years old, visited and played in my room. I thought nothing of it since I used to play with them before school started and really liked them. Then when I went upstairs to my room so that I could do my homework, as I entered the room, I could just feel the stress feeling me once more and was really upset. My room, which was really clean when I left it on the weekend before I left, now looked ransacked of some sort. My bed was messy, my makeup was smeared all over the bed, and most importantly, my plushie that I really loved was so dirty that I'm sure I couldn't even clean it. I immediately went downstairs to tell my mom about it, since I was really mad because not only were my things ruined, but my favorite things like my plushie and a makeup set, which were around $800 and $1,000, $1,500, and I saved up my allowance for, were so ruined already. My mom told me that it was just things and that my cousins were just playing around, and I think I was just about to burst into anger, but I just calmed myself down and told my mom that if she didn't stop my cousins from entering my room the next time they visited, I would be placing a lock on it. Maybe I overreacted a bit, but am I the idiot? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Welcome to /r/Am the Asshole. Please view our voting guide here. Wiki what? 2019s_with_these_acronyms. 3F_what_do_they_mean. 3F. And remember to use **only one *** judgment in your comment. Though P has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. Maybe I was an idiot for getting mad about my things, especially since my cousins are still young kids and I told my mom I would put a lock on her. Help keep the sub engaging. #don't downvote assholes. Do upvote interesting posts. Click here for our rules and click here for our FAQ ## subreddit. Announcements. Happy anniversary, Ada. The idiot universe is expanding. Again, introducing another new sister, subreddit. The link above to learn more. Moderators needed. Join the landed gentry. Emma Bot. And this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit if you have any questions or concerns. Asterisk. Contest mode is 1.5 hours long on this post. Comment 2. Not the idiot, but this sounds like you're an adult and is your mom's room and is just letting you stay there. She also will be not the idiot if she says, no lock, get your stuff out. If you aren't an adult, your mom can still say no lock, but you're fine making the request. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Your cousins have no business in a teen young adult's bedroom. It's not a playroom, and can even be dangerous if they're left unsupervised. It's your private space, and kids shouldn't go rummaging through your stuff when you're not around. Now, for the next story. For some background information, I am a 25-year-old female. My boyfriend is a 31-year-old male. He is in the process of building a house and has been very stressed over not only the process, but the money it is costing him. I am in graduate school. I don't have much money right now, but the money I do have is mostly going towards school. We have been dating for a year. My boyfriend and I went to the state fair tonight. I expressed to him how excited I was to go and get this specific food that I only get once a year at the fair. I grabbed some cash from my car and threw it into my purse before we went in. I paid for both of our admission tickets and an order of curly fries we shared. He bought us 2 hot sausages. Then we went over to the stand that I was most excited for, but he was not getting anything from this stand. The line was very, very long. We waited for about a half hour. He expressed a desire for us to just leave and not wait any longer, but I said I really wanted this one, so we waited. He also mentioned that he wanted me to take it to go, but I said I really wanted to eat it at the fair while it was still hot. It is the kind of food that isn't good after sitting for a while. We finally got to the front of the line, and I reached into my purse to pay when I realized I didn't have enough cash left. I thought I had grabbed more than I did from my car. I would never do this on purpose. I said to him, I messed up and didn't grab enough money. Is there any way you could give me $5 and I will pay you back when we get back to the car? He was immediately disgusted with me and couldn't believe I would not bring enough money into the fare, but he gave me the money. Then I realized I actually needed $1 more, so I asked if I could have just $1 more and reiterated that I would immediately pay him back when we got to the car. He was very disgusted with me at this point and snapped at me for what? Because he couldn't understand why I needed another dollar. His tone of voice immediately made me tear up. When the guy working the stand asked if it was for here or to go, I told him to go, and we left. The whole reason we went to the fair was for me to get something from this stand because I love it, and I ended up crying and having to take it to go. We walked to the car silently, and I immediately reached into the glove box to pay him back, and he wouldn't let me open it and said just to drive. That he didn't want me to pay him back. He said, loudly, that I am completely ridiculous and a baby. I told him I was already nervous to ask him for the money in the first place, and then his response just made everything worse. And he could not believe I said I was afraid to ask him for money. I said, well, look at the way you responded. Why wouldn't I have been? He claimed that he thought I was joking when I asked for the extra dollar, and that's why he acted the way he did. But I don't believe it. You could tell in the moment it was genuine irritation. Am I the idiot? Edit. The food I wanted was a stromboli. It was $9.50, and I had $4 left in my purse. Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. The moment he called you a baby, you should have pulled over and kicked him out of the car. He sounds abusive. He overreacted after you paid the admission and drove there. He should have been happy to pay for what you were buying and not be mad you didn't bring enough money. Personally, I would dump his sorry behind before you end up having to pay for his house and not being on the deed. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Frankly, it's embarrassing that a 31-year-old man couldn't scrape together $5 for you. He didn't think you were joking. He was being a prick. I sincerely hope he reflects on himself about this, but I doubt it. I would very seriously reconsider a relationship with someone who wouldn't even give their girlfriend $1. I know he ultimately did, but that poop is ridiculous. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Your boyfriend is a controlling and abusive individual. No well-adjusted person would do what he did. I recommend checking out why does he do that. This might help you understand what's going on here. If you liked this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day!